team lost, you'll say they are out.
The expectations are unrealistic, if you ask me, because, like you just said,
Be happy with him as a fall guy, because remember, after the king leaves, bro, it's chaos.
Yeah,
it's
it
chaos,
is.
isn't it?
You know how it is.
But I'm happy to give this guy an opportunity if he comes.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're listening. Welcome to another episode of Podcast Pundits. I'll be your host today, Dre Man, avid Man United fan. And before we go into the segment, we just go around the room just to check out who's with us with the panel. On my left,
De La Strada, free agent. I'm ready to go.
I feel like this gets short every single time we do.
Yeah.
We jump on the mic.
and then moving on from De La Strada.
Yo, what you saying? It's your boy Strives, aka Striver. Yeah, man. Been a good weekend for me. Arsenal held the best team in Europe to a draw. Good weekend, man. It's exactly as I anticipated it would be. And it's exactly as I said I would be happy with. So I've got to stay in line with that energy.
Pure enjoyment. And moving on from Strives.
Yo, it's your boy, top of the league, aka Joey Nomadic, aka Liverpool's number one supporter, here in humility and glory.
And last but not least,
Marley Mal here, Man United supporter. Same mood for the whole season, to be fair. I've got nothing good to say. Nothing good to say, man.
yeah, it's been a bit crazy. But yeah, before we go into it, you can find us on all major platforms. And it'd only be right to start off with the blockbuster that was on Sunday. Man City 0, Arsenal 0. Obviously, Liverpool are the winners out of this fixture because obviously it ended in a goalless draw. But if I put it to you straight away, Strives, is this a great accomplishment for your team in terms of they've shown everyone that they've grown up? Because I feel like maybe last year, like they went on to lose, but this year that they've proved you right in terms of like draw, win, and they're still in with a challenge for the Premier League title.
Yeah. To be fair, to answer your question, that's a fair way to put it. To be fair, 2 years ago, I remember watching Arsenal get smoked 5-0. I think it was 5-0. I think I was on my way to I can't remember, some Afro festival or something like that. And then last season, after having a brilliant season, we got smoked 4-1. I think that was the score. So, you know, a season onwards, like not a full third season, it's 0-0. It's progression, really, isn't it? You know what I mean? There's progression, really. So yeah, bruv, like I think that's fair. Like we have gone from boys and we're growing into men, distinguishable men as well. Because at the end of the day, the way I'm looking at it is, we've now announced ourselves as title challengers in the title race. We're doing it 2 seasons running, and I think to be in with a shout to still be winning the league, having just played probably your most lethal competitor. I think that's growth, man. That's growth, definitely.
And in terms of, obviously, if I put it to you, even Della, in terms of like Arsenal basically kept dealing with everything that Man City were throwing at them in terms of the kitchen sink. So does this just put it into perspective for everyone that Arsenal have been doing this from the beginning of the season and nothing's really changed? They're just doing what they're doing and all the stats are speaking for themselves.
Yeah, I think it's they've showed the consistency. Arsenal as a team, they've grown a lot because, as Drive said, probably 2 years ago, even last season when they went to the Emirates, they got dealt with, and a lot of media, they're saying they didn't like the way Arsenal approached the game. But if Arsenal approached the game how they approached it last season and lost, they'll say Arsenal's naive. So you can't be in the same place twice and expect someone to do the same thing. So yeah, they've shown growth and they've shown consistency in the way they've approached the games. And overall, they've taken, in the top 3, they've taken 4 points from Liverpool, 4 points from City.
Yeah.
And Man City against the top 6 haven't really won a game. And it just shows how far they've come. Even if they don't win the league, they've still made massive strides.
Yeah, strides. Exactly. Striver, if we go back even into the first half, What would you say in terms of how Arsenal were set up? Were they just literally just trying to take City on the counter, and then obviously just trying to hold it deep in terms of just trying to keep it tight? But in terms of, my main question is, Saka was a bit not out of sorts, but I think he struggled to get into the game a little bit.
So on that one, on Saka, I heard that he hadn't fully recovered from his injury.
Oh, okay, yeah. 'Cause I was going to say, did the injury play a little bit on his mind as well? But was it just one of those?
Saka's always injured. There's always something. There's always some sort of theory for Saka in it. So I think with Saka, he hadn't trained.
Yeah,
he hadn't trained. I don't even think he even trained. I think he might have just, if he did train, he probably had one training session, full stop. You know what I mean, kind of thing. So it was just a case of, look, I think the simplest way to put it, this is the worst time to be playing Manchester City, and this is the worst time for Manchester City to be playing Arsenal. After like the international break, the break that nobody really cares for or wants or what have you not, it stifles your momentum. Do you know what I'm saying? You've gone off with your different international setups, all that momentum that you've got with your club is gone. And one thing I will say about the way Arsenal approach training sessions and just approach their players is very different, and it's very favourable. If you I listened to Jack Wilshere talking to Simon Jordan not too long ago, and he spoke about that in hindsight, he probably would have like accepted the deal that Emery gave him just for the support that he gets at Arsenal. He got at Arsenal, and I bring that up to say that when you go away to different camps or what have you not, you're not benefiting from the same level of care, the same level of attention, the same level of training and drills that you would have had you just stayed at Arsenal. So then when you come back after 2 international games, and then you've got Thursday to whenever we played Sunday to try and, re-gel with everybody else, what have you not, it's just not really the most advantageous time to be taken on.
You kind of lose your rhythm, don't you?
Yeah, do you get what I'm saying? So then when you've singled out Saka there, Saka's already left the England camp a little bit early, obviously, to manage himself. He's always seems to be managing some sort of injury, but on top of the injury, more so than that, because I don't want to focus on that part, because I feel like that's something that we're always talking about, it's more so that irregularity that he's having to kind of deal with. And in my opinion, bro, like, obviously when you think about the Arsenal and the City game, bro, we had 27% or 28% of possession. Yeah, as a man that's played in forward positions when I'm playing football, bro, what are you expecting to do when you ain't got the ball? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so Saka couldn't do much to influence the game, and that's credit to Manchester City. Yeah. But what he did do is he fought tirelessly, bro. He fought tirelessly. He was part of a rigid setup from Arteta and from Arsenal.
He did his defensive duties well.
Yeah. And we were pretty much impenetrable. Do you get what I'm saying? So he played that part in that thing. So in my opinion, every single player on that pitch played decent, played well. I'm not really buying the whole, he didn't play this, he didn't play good, he didn't play that. He could have given me more offensively. I'm not like saying that couldn't do it. Yeah. He could have given me a little bit more offensively in the little moments that he did have, whatnot. But ultimately, when you're striker, forward or winger, you need a few like pops at the cherry, you know what I'm saying, to get your rhythm. But City don't afford you that many chances. So when you're expecting him to just hit the ground running and just be incisive with his first, introduction to the game or whatnot, give him some time. When he did get himself flowing and he got a chance off, Jesus probably should have been better. He should have anticipated a run. We could be talking about Saka in a completely different light. He would have had an assist if Jesus didn't hesitate on his run. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, swings and roundabouts in that regard, man. I think, I don't know if that's your question, if it was just about Saka.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's unfair, but I did mainly pick on him, not because I felt like he had a bad game, but it was just mainly to highlight that hopefully he doesn't do what he did last year, where everyone said he dipped a little bit. And obviously, I know this was a different kind of game, but obviously we're going into the peak end of the season now. And I remember when we were saying last year that's kind of when you need your boys like in form. But again, it was a hard game to judge him because you didn't really have that much possession. So he was doing, like you said, more the defensive things than more the attacking things. But
precisely that. And if you can't win, which we couldn't, that version of Manchester City is probably beating any team in Europe.
Yeah.
And if you can't beat them, just don't lose.
Yeah.
So he played these, but he did what he needed to do. I can't think of any standout performer. Our liveliest attacker was Gabby Jesus.
Well, I was going to move on to the next point. He was probably like he
was our liveliest attacker, but he was still him. Like, you know the phrase that I like to go by, the whole know your boys.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. When you know who you're dealing with, well, you can't be annoyed. Like with Jesus, when he got that first little chance that he kind of rushed at it a little bit, I was just like, you know what, unlucky. Like that's your first pop of the cherry. You're getting yourself warm. Next one will come. But then he starts doing that Jogger Benita pro clubs thing where he's just, just shimmying, fainting, trying to create himself extra space to get a shot off. And I feel like he could probably, he could probably be a bit sharper, kind of thing. But he was our liveliest attacker despite that frustration. He frustrates me in general, kind of thing. But despite that, he was our liveliest attacker. He was trying to take people on dribble. He had probably our better chances, and he was still getting stuck in defensiveness.
I felt like City didn't really know how to handle him, to be honest.
I don't think City knew City tried something different again, but I don't think City knew what to do, to be fair. You know what I mean? They've been dealing with low blocks all season, bro. All season. Then this one comes out and they can barely get a sniff. Haaland freaking was dunking on VVD and so forth. Like, he couldn't do nothing against Saliba. Couldn't do anything against Gabriel.
Yeah, they had a great game. They had a great game.
You know what I mean? So yeah, man, I think, to be honest, I'm not really. That's why I've got this energy. I've got like good performance from Arsenal.
Performance overall.
Can I say? You see, sometimes people talk about. I think when West Ham beat Arsenal, and I think they said West Ham, like David Moyes, he coached a masterclass. But when you look to the XGs, I think Arsenal, like the XG doubled West Ham's. So let's say if Arsenal had won that game yesterday, that's when you can say Arteta coached a masterclass,
right? Because
you didn't concede any chances to a team, then you created a chance to score. So that's a masterclass, because both of those teams had an XG of less than 1 or 0 point something, 0.5 something. So that's a masterclass. I don't buy those things where, let's say, a Sam Allardyce team sets up, nothing wrong with that type of football, but they set up in a type of way, get dominated, get one chance and score. And everyone says, that's a masterclass. That's not a masterclass. That was fortunate.
So just to contest that, isn't it also to an extent dependent upon the level of personnel?
Oh yeah, of course.
Because obviously West Ham, not really that. Who else? Burnley might do a low block as well, but even Chelsea did a low block and it was successful against Man City. But they're going to concede chance because the personnel is not as good as Arsenal's backline.
Yeah, and I hear that. So maybe I can correct myself in some cases, but I feel generally when they say like a masterclass, for me, like you can't concede an XG of 4 and only have less than 0, and you score that one chance and you said that's a masterclass. You were very, very, very lucky.
But I think with the record that City have as well, unbeaten at home, and I think they've scored something like it's like they've scored in 47 consecutive home league games before this match. So
yeah, in 2 years.
But it also isn't. We all had this expectation though. Prior last week when we did our recording as well, we said that the likelihood is that, to be fair, I thought Arsenal were going to win this game.
Well, do you feel like they should have given more, or do you think now, looking back on it, that it was the right approach?
I think because Arsenal have a good defence and they've been getting goals in, quite a lot of goals in recently. I thought I did kind of expect more. I kind of expected a bit more attacking wise. And
but then were they kind of worried about their defensive vulnerabilities?
But Arsenal have not been playing with a low block, and they've had the good defense. So I mean, if I'm going to be completely
correct, Arsenal.
If I'm going to be completely honest, I think that, like I've always said, Saliba is capable of handling Haaland, whether they play low block or high block or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I think Gabriel, people have called him the best centre-back in the league, along with Saliba. So I didn't understand why they had to play low block. And I look back to when Man City played Arsenal at Emirates. They didn't necessarily play a low block. They had
this season?
Yeah, this season they had the defense and they played well. So I thought there was more in the game for Arsenal, to be completely honest. But if you offer them a point before the game, they're going to snatch your hand off.
Yeah, I think with that, what I've heard, I think they didn't plan to be in the low block, but City were just too dominant.
But why?
They held him back.
Like why? Because obviously City have been dominant. Like City can go to any team and be dominant.
Yeah.
But we've seen, for example, they go to Tottenham. They can dominate Tottenham if they want, but then sometimes Tottenham can just go there and do their normal things. Or we saw Aston Villa. Mm-hmm. We see Liverpool.
But that was Villa at home.
But then I'm saying we see them dominate Villa at home all the time, and we see them play Liverpool and sometimes have their spells of possession. But Liverpool go at them, and then it's a 1-1 or a 0-0. So they are capable of playing football. So I was surprised they didn't.
I think in this one, I think they missed Martinelli. And that's why I mentioned
as like outlets.
Yeah, okay. Outlet. And I think Saka, I think he wasn't 100% because similar to what you said in the Emirates, Arsenal sort of had the same sort of approach, but able to break with. I think Martinelli came on in the second half.
Yeah.
And then obviously that's where they got the goal from because he just had that impact. And then if you notice, Partey made a difference when he came on as well. And again, last game and this game. So I think there was not so much they don't plan to be in a low block, but defensively.
They have to keep it compact and
hit them on the
all due respect to them being able to adapt, but again, in the title race where there's the 3 teams, I did expect more from Arsenal.
Yeah, but that was my expectation. But when people say they expect more from Arsenal were their away team, so you should expect more from.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Remember my prediction? I said it's either double chance. I said double chance Arsenal last week.
But the thing is, I think both teams you can see they didn't want to lose.
No, 100%.
Because if any team lost, you'll say they are out.
The expectations are unrealistic, if you ask me, because like you just said, Delo, obviously there is the home and away factor that plays a part. But ultimately, with every fixture, like in boxing, there's a popular adage: styles make fights. So comparing Villa or comparing Liverpool or comparing other teams to City and how they, one another approach games, like I don't feel like it. I feel like it's a very binary way to look at the game. Like if, for instance, if you're watching Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk fight, there's a good chance you're going to get a chess match unless one of them decides. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think here, just to counter your point, Joey, I think with Man City and Arsenal, the teams that we've seen in the Premier League this season, you're never really going to get that because we've seen 3 90-minute games now, and we've had, I think, we didn't get extra time in the Community Shield, went straight to penalties. So we've seen 3 90 minutes, and both teams each time have cancelled each other out. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's the kind of games that we're seeing, 2 tactical minds going at each other. You know what I'm saying? So whereas with Man City and Liverpool, I agree, it was a much better game for me personally because I like attacking football. But if you are somebody that still appreciates like watching tactical geniuses go at it and you don't mind seeing people cancel each other out, that was still a good game of football to watch yesterday. But for those of us, the majority that like to see attacking ball, Man City versus Liverpool, that 1-1 is great. But then even Liverpool went up City. Liverpool maybe even dominated City. But if you think about it, City hit the post once or twice. So City could have still won that game. So there's no right or wrong way 100%. To skin a cat.
I agree with you. But I think, again, if you use the phrase styles makes fights, you're talking about 2 boxers that have their styles. I think in this one, it wasn't a case of styles makes fights because Arsenal didn't play their normal style. And where they were the same, and we're talking about Arsenal that play their style that they've been playing away from home or at home.
But they tried to. I would say they tried to. So it's like.
So that's why I don't think it was
necessarily. You have to give credit to City.
No, both teams. I think you have to give credit to both.
No, but I'm saying because of their styles.
I think you give credit to City. I think he's spot on because.
And to Arsenal as well because obviously they adapted, like you said. But I'm just saying like it was more of a.
It was more of a chess.
No, but when you say chess, it's not necessarily. Like, I don't think it was like an equal chess match where you're like seeing, because like I think the way it went in the Man City Liverpool game, it was kind of equal where like these guys had both. But the
thing is, I think like Klopp is rock and roll. Arteta and Arteta and Pep, they're both like control. So if you're playing 2 teams who want control, it's literally going to be like who's going to give way first. Whereas Klopp is like at some point he's going to say, guys, take the handbrake off. Let's go for it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's going to be very different in those type of games.
But they also kind of do control possession in the Liverpool when he does the rock and roll. So we're in the point where we're going to attack and we're going to lose the ball, but we're never going to get the ball back straight away.
So when I'm saying, so obviously Klopp will take more risk, whereas because Arteta and Pep both want control, then they're a bit like
they're willing to concede.
You know what? And I think ultimately, if the points gap was different, I think one of them would have taken a bigger risk. But because everyone's still relatively close, it's like we can't afford to lose this game.
I think that's the main thing as well, because Arteta said it was a big step. And I think from his perspective is, I think I said it in the group as well, if Arsenal were to lose that, you don't really know psychologically how it's going to affect them moving on. It shouldn't.
Bruv, you know how it's going to affect us because we saw it last season. We lost to them in the FA Cup.
No, but like you said, you're a different animal this season.
Nah.
We're not that different. You get what I'm saying? But I think the difference here, well, when you say different animal, we had Saliba that was available. Obviously, we've had an extra season of coaching. We've brought a couple of other players in, But why I say we're not that different. We're not that different. All it is, the difference this time is Arteta has matured, and I think our team has matured as well. Because last season we would have lost that game 4-1 again. Do you get what I'm saying? We would have lost that game 4-1 again. And just to go back to, I think one of the points Joey was making, I think he's a little bit inaccurate when he says the low block or the mid block isn't natural or isn't becoming of us, because actually we've done that all season as well, you know. But we only do it when we're forced to. You know what I mean? Like if you think about, I think we were recording one time when what game was it? Was it the Palace game when we went down to 10 men?
I can't remember.
Yeah, but I felt like we was under a bit of pressure.
You're correct. You lot get your guys behind the ball very quickly.
But that's what Bernardo Silva was saying.
I know you do, but the difference is in terms of you guys make it an aim to get possession back very quickly as well, and that's what wasn't there. And you made a point as well that because of the points gap, you lot were very cautious, and that's what I mean. I wasn't expecting Arsenal to be cautious because there was a lot. There was a lot at stake, but there was also a lot to grab there.
Yeah, but even when you're saying that, so let's say even despite Arsenal are they just 2 points behind Liverpool?
Yes,
Arsenal is 2 points behind Liverpool, second, and everyone says they are probably third in the running. If you were to rank who
favourites, yeah.
So imagine if they lost that game, everyone would be like they're completely like out. So they couldn't afford to lose.
But like you said, it's just a risk averseness then, because technically, I don't know if Klopp will be looking at it from. Imagine if we come for lose that game, he'll be thinking, "This is it, man. Let's go."
No, but the thing is, it's like it's again, City are 3 points behind Liverpool. I think so. Yeah. But everyone feels like they can go on the run.
Because they've done it before.
Yeah, exactly. They've done it before. Liverpool have done it before. No one have seen Arsenal do it. Yeah. Or under Arteta. So that's why, even despite them being second, only 2 points behind Liverpool, everyone's said, you know what, they are third favourites. So that's why, from a Klopp's point of view, I think if Klopp was in that position, I don't know. I don't really know him that well, or to see what
Klopp would have done his crash bang wallop.
Well, he done it the other day.
Yeah, so when
they played the other day, he went for it, innit?
Like, but then obviously he's probably more high risk, high reward.
And I think that's what it is.
But I think in Arsenal, and bear in mind they had the thing happen last season. So if they now went for and they went out again, everyone literally bro.
Yeah, but I think if they lost you can't really think about that because you're saying like Arteta's matured. Exactly.
That's because he's matured. That's why he's approached the game differently. So if he went with the same mindset, like fuck it, let's go for it, because I think that's what he did last season.
So you're saying he's matured into a pussy hole?
No, it's cautious. It's not cautious. This is probably the best position Arsenal can be in. I feel like Arsenal are more dangerous when they're chasing the pack as opposed to leading the pack at this particular moment in the season.
Do you think that works well though in the end? That obviously it's a more comfortable position to be in because you're not stressful, but there's a lack of reward that comes with
it's risky
in that position.
It's risky, but I feel like there's more reward with Liverpool being at the top of the table as opposed to Man City being at the top of the table.
I agree. And I think that's the same for Liverpool as well sometimes.
And if you look at it holistically as well, from 12 points, we've had 75% of them against our title challenges. Like I personally don't see how that can come under any kind of scrutiny, if you ask me. Do you know what I mean? So, if out of the 12 available, we've taken 8 from Liverpool and City. So if we lose at this point and it comes down to, okay, that draw at City, then you just got to save. All right, you know what? Whoever won the league, they were just a better team because what else can
Guess who's been there before, man? Many times, right?
But, many times. And what's even more ironic, I think Liverpool haven't really lost. They've only lost to Tottenham, right?
We lost to Tottenham and
Arsenal.
Arsenal.
I don't know how he's done against a Big Six, but Man City have only beaten Man United in a Big Six. So if they won and won the league, you have to look at it when people say you can only win the league by beating your direct opponents. You don't necessarily have to be like that. You just need to make sure you beat everyone around you and make sure you don't lose against your direct opponents.
We've only beaten Chelsea, remember?
Oh yeah,
we drew with Man United, we drew with Chelsea, we drew with Arsenal, lost to Arsenal.
Yeah, remember Jose used to win titles like that all the time.
Yeah,
just get results.
Just don't lose against the Big Six, your direct rivals, and batter everyone else.
I was going to say as well, in terms of there weren't many like clear chances in that game that I was watching personally because I thought it was so tight.
Ake had one. Ake he could have. You could argue he could have. If he connects with that header, goes in. Properly. If he doesn't.
Trossard at the end.
And then for you, I was going to say Trossard.
Yeah, Trossard. Obviously Haaland as well. He's got this affinity with trying to finish with his left foot all the time. Maybe if he doesn't have that in his mind and he's willing to go with his right foot, maybe he doesn't miss the ball. Obviously, I think Jesus could have made that run. We spoke about that earlier. And like you man just spoke about Trossard. Trossard saw the back pages way before he got there. No,
I think it was a poor control because there was no way he was going to... he's not fast enough to be that last event. I think he just had a bad control because after that control, it sort of took him, not away, but it allowed the defender to cover the angle for the pass if he was to play it to Martinelli.
But then what if he chopped him? Because he's got that in his locker. We've seen him do that.
Yeah,
so he could have chopped. I just think he went for. In my opinion, I hear what you're saying.
Squared it? Is that what you're saying, Martinelli?
Yeah, but I think what Della's saying is he reckons the poor touch took that option away from him. But when he got into the box, we've seen Trossard chop a man.
Yeah,
why didn't he chop a man and then square him?
And he came on as a sub, so he shouldn't have been.
He wanted to win the game for us.
He's just not fast.
I think he wanted to win the game for us. I think decisions let us down personally because we could.
What other decisions apart from that one?
Jesus.
In what sense?
We didn't have many. We got
him not shooting. Yeah, as you said.
Did Jesus do anything that he wouldn't usually do in that situation?
No, that's why he's saying.
That's why I say
Jesus.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I'm not getting at him to be like you fucking brother.
What was it? What Jesus chance when he was doing jinky?
I feel like he done too much. And then the main one that I get onto him about a little bit more is the one where the Saka one, and I think Akanji or something gets there. Like he's hesitating on his run. He goes into that box. He's on the end of that. We've Della's alluded to. That's a masterclass performance, bro. You stop City and you've won the game. But
and he needs to shoot more from outside the box. Like create space and shoot.
We're not going to ever get that.
He'll cut it, chop it. Big man, let it off.
Just trust me. So I promise you, after that World Cup, he was fulfilled. Like the first few months of him in an Arsenal shirt, in my opinion, I don't see it getting any better than that. So after last season, I was screaming, I think we need another striker. Because my opinion, I think we need to obviously look to upgrade that now because we're ahead of schedule, maybe, if you want to call it that. We didn't expect to be here that quick. We are now. Nketiah, move him on, get another striker, let Saka and Jesus compete for the right. And then we can look at getting another wing player to obviously give us an option when Martinelli's on the bench because I don't know if that's what Adela was alluding to, but we do lack a little bit of pace sometimes as well in the build up as well, and that's where Martinelli would have been very useful. Honourable shout to Martinelli when he came on, he done his thing. Big you up for coming off the podcast Pundits watch list as well, bro.
It's starting to get hinched by Guardiola still. That's all I saw.
Guardiola that's one thing I'll say about Arsenal. You see, like now that you've watched the game and you've had a sleep, they've Guardiola and Silva pushing us so far back, whatnot.
Yeah,
we could have been a little bit braver and maybe committed at least one of our wingers forward to,
But
to get a 3 versus 2.
The lack of Saka was kind of that. That's where he should be exploiting it. But as you said, he's a bit off the pace. It showed.
Yeah, but that's if I'm being super critical.
Yeah, of course. But I was going to say, in terms of like the setup, though, it's kind of what we expected because I think even Della said it would be like Jorginho.
It was always going to be that.
And then obviously
and Rice.
So
Partey came in, done his thing.
Yeah, I think he did all right.
I think he was decent. He looked a little bit shoddy to begin with, but I mean, when you come fresh out the fire pan into the fire, is that the phrase? I don't know. That's you can expect that, but you saw the line breaking passes from him. He had a lot. His passing accuracy was on point. You know, he was involved. Honestly, I can't fault anyone, man. I think our major players was Gabriel, Saliba, Ben White, and Raya.
Ben White, actually, yeah, he did well.
Yeah.
But from anyone that watched the game here, do you not think Saliba had a better game than Gabriel?
No.
Yeah, because I was shocked when Gary gave him the man of the match over Gabriel.
It's because he was doing the most battles with Haaland.
Yeah.
And obviously,
Gabriel?
Saliba.
No, Gabriel was doing the most battles.
Yeah, I think, yeah. I mean, they were doing the most arguing.
Yeah, but they were doing more head to head with each other. But
I think that was like the headline, though. It's like Saliba versus Haaland, innit? And that kind of like, and especially after the VVD versus Haaland.
Yeah,
it's kind of like the Sky Sports headline.
I think sometimes Gabriel needs to start getting his flowers because I think Saliba.
We gave him his flowers last week.
No, I think genuinely because that game, Saliba looked a bit shaky to begin with.
And robbed him off his FPL bonus points as well.
And Gabriel was solid throughout the whole thing. Went toe to toe with Haaland. Not saying Saliba didn't play bad, not he didn't play good, but Gabriel was the much better centre back.
Is that what you think?
That's what I think when I watch it.
Is that what you think about the two? No,
they are balanced, but they offer different things.
How old is Gabriel?
Probably 24, and Saliba's maybe 22. I don't know. Together, yeah, they are probably the best centre back pairing, but individually, depends what you want for your defender.
One of them was playing with Konsa. What are you saying?
Best two CBs in the Premier League.
If they're playing with Consas,
doesn't matter. They're the best.
No, I was just asking.
It's a separate question, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Who is to play with Konsa? I'll say Gabriel because he can attack the ball, whereas Konsa is more withdrawn, right? Or does he attack the ball?
Well, I'm just saying in general, if you just put any other CB in there, do you think you still get?
Honestly, I don't think Gabriel gets enough.
No, you're misunderstanding his question. He's trying to ask you that if they're with Konsa, are they still at the same
like if you put in another guy, if you transplant one of them out of there, because obviously your defensive unit, as I said last week, is solid. But if you were to like start chopping and change it, or let's say Gabriel went out or Saliba went out, do you think
obviously it's different. Like let's say in what you're saying, obviously VVD is more seasoned. So if you got VVD playing with a younger centre back, he's a bit more seasoned and more mature to guide the younger centre back. But I wouldn't think. I think Gabriel is more capable than Saliba to play with a younger defensive partner. Gabriel talks more than Saliba.
Yeah. Which I didn't know as well. I thought it was the other way around, but yeah.
Fair. So we all in agreeing then that draw is a fair result, and I'd probably say the better result for Arsenal overall.
For Arsenal, and obviously overall Liverpool.
I would have taken a Man City win in that game.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a better result for Man City, I'd say, because Arsenal would have still been on top and running away with it.
Yeah, because in my opinion, like I said, I thought I was expecting a draw, a loss, or win.
So you was hoping for a win for City?
Yeah, because I think Arsenal. I've seen more from Arsenal than I've seen from Man City, and I think again, like we're seeing the same performance from Man City that we saw against Chelsea.
Yeah,
we're seeing certain bits where they. Like Strive said, they come up against, I think it was Dre said it, they come up against a low block all season, but for some reason, when it comes to certain teams, they just don't have the answer to it, where they should be figuring out the answer to these questions if that's your style of play.
Yeah.
So like you're just changing your tune, bro. You're trying to sound cool, bro.
No, like I said last week anyway, because I did say it last week, I was expecting a win or draw from Arsenal, innit? But
if City won, there would only be a point behind Liverpool, and you'd have been comfortable with that.
Yeah, I think so, bro. Because again, this is we've been doing those head-to-head battles for a long time. I don't know about Arsenal. Arsenal are an unknown quantity.
But then Arsenal would have been
level.
Yeah,
the thing is, Arsenal.
If Arsenal won, it would have been level with Liverpool.
And
that's why I thought a draw. A draw is more the perfect result for you.
He's capping in his raps. He's just said earlier on in this same episode that this is what we had to deal with when he was talking about obviously doing everything that you can and still not being good enough. The team that has made them feel that way is Manchester City. There's no way in hell he wants City to win that.
Sorry, you just said I said something earlier on. What did I say earlier on?
When I was talking about if it comes down to the end of the season and a draw against City at the Etihad is it? You're like, hey, we've been there, baby. You wouldn't have that thought process, or you wouldn't have that in your heart.
No, we've been there. We've been there where we've gone to the battle to the end and we've lost by a point. And I've been alright.
Who have you lost to?
But no, but you lot have been laughing at us. But I've been saying we've done a good thingy.
I hear you, but
I think you misunderstood what I said.
No, but I'm just saying that if you've lost to City, yeah?
Yeah.
So they're the people that have given you this...
they've been great, yeah.
This PTSD, let's call it that, yeah?
No, I wouldn't call it that.
All right, well, this thing in your heart that made you say whatever you just said.
No, the thing in my heart is that we've given it our best run, and so have City, and the best team won.
And it's always been City?
No, not always, because we've won a title. So I'm just saying, but that thing, when it happens, I'm putting my hand up, because remember, as the people that haven't been involved in that, you've always been laughing at Liverpool and saying you lot haven't won shit or you bottled it. But now you're getting to where I've been, where you can see that it's a difficult battle.
So
bro.
you've been there.
So you understand, you're understanding what it was all those times.
So,
that was my point.
Thank you. So thank you for giving me the benefit of knowing I'm understanding, and in understanding, I know that you must be capping, because there's no way that you want City to win that game. Because but
I told you that I wanted City. Remember, I said in the messages.
Yeah,
I'm torn between this and that.
You can say it, but in your heart, you can't.
Okay, but why didn't you say that before? Why are you
that's what I was saying.
Why, no, but you didn't.
That's what I've been saying. Because you can't want City to win.
He doesn't know what he wants.
He
doesn't know what he wants.
How can you want City to be 1 point behind you?
Hard to get.
You want City, basically, because he said it even last season, bro. He doesn't believe in Arsenal. He thinks we're gonna bottle it. He's always saying that. He's always going to me. He's going to me all on this podcast.
So I'll be honest. Like, if Arsenal won that, I feel more confident with Arsenal dropping points.
Oh, okay.
So I don't understand what you're saying, bro. Like, if I'm having a race between Arsenal and City, I would choose Arsenal to race against.
Because you feel like, like you said, they'll drop.
No, but if you said you feel more confident with Arsenal dropping points, that means you would be. That would mean that you think we're favourites over City.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you.
Anyway,
Got lost in the lie.
Obviously, City are playing Villa next, and then after that, Palace. So who knows?
Who's that? What away performances?
Man City is at home against Villa, and then they are away at Crystal Palace.
Might try and grab some tickets and do some curses on the pitch.
I think City win all the rest of the games.
Yeah.
Well.
And then Arsenal. You guys host Luton at the Emirates, and then you go to Brighton.
Brighton might be tricky just from the performance that they put up against Liverpool, but I think we should. The only grounds I was worried about was Etihad and Old Trafford. I'm not, no disrespect, but I'm not worried about Old Trafford anymore. And Etihad, we've come away with a point. So I think now I'm just waiting for Liverpool to drop points.
I can't disagree with that, because again, I'm not feeling confident about Old Trafford. We should win.
Yeah.
But
it's a great segue into the next game anyway.
It's a difficult stadium to go to, but I just say I think out of all the runs to the end in terms of games, I think Arsenal have the easiest fixtures on paper. But
the easiest?
I think so, yeah. But because
Arsenal,
only because they've got
hardest.
They've got
they're
less.
away.
No, I'm saying from the rest. Yeah, they're away, but
I think you have the easiest.
No, you have to bear in mind. I expect Arsenal to beat these teams home and away. That's what I'm saying. But I think in terms of the games that are sandwiched in between, where they got like 50 games in between the Tottenham game and the Premier League game before that, that's where it's difficult for Arsenal, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, that's a great segue anyway onto your team, Joey. You guys, it was Liverpool 2, Brighton 1. Salah scored the winner as the Reds come from behind to strengthen their Premier League bid. Was it a bit of a shock after 2 minutes?
No.
When Welbeck scored?
No, because we've been conceding goals all season. And I wasn't even watching the game at that point because I was trying to add technical issues. Technical issues. Where I had to phone in the support team in Strives and Marley to figure out why my Fire Stick was misfiring. Obviously, it's Easter weekend, so I was at the family's house.
With Now TV, right?
Yeah, exactly, because we don't endorse
come on, man.
Crazy products on this.
Wait, no, you got Now TV on it.
Yeah, of course, we all got Now TV when we get that technical support.
Well, just sweat off my head.
He's talking about another Strides, by the way.
The Fire Stick King.
The Fire Stick guru.
But when we conceded that goal, we were on top of them before that goal, and then
it was a great finish, to be fair.
It was, and it's Welbeck anyway, man. I like him. I've always liked him, but I feel like we were on top of them. So it was just a matter of time before we got the goal. I thought the only issue was when we got that first goal was, were we going to be wasteful again? And I think we've been wasteful in quite a few of our games, man. But I think it was just business as usual for us, man.
And you had a lot of chances that were offside as well, right? In terms of like the ball hitting the back of the net.
Yeah.
So is it just a thing of Liverpool just need to keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah, just get your head down, man. Blinkers on. Forget about what's happening left and right. Just focus on the goal. Keep going. And they've been here before. You know what Man City have to offer. You don't really care about anything else because Man City, no disrespect, but in terms of what has happened to you historically, it's been Man City who have been yapping at your tail in it. So you just focus on the goal, man, and do what you've been doing all these other times, man.
What they're in now is just obviously just the Prem in Europa.
Europa, yeah.
Have they got in Europa next round?
Atalanta,
yes.
Atalanta, yeah.
It should be all right.
So is it one of those things though, even when like a team scores, you could just still think you can outscore them because you've got a lot of firepower?
Well, yeah, we can outscore pretty much every team in the league, if I'm going to be completely honest, man.
Yeah.
I think we should be. It's whether we can keep that clean sheet and what's happening for us to not have that clean sheet. And essentially, like we said in the Arsenal combo, it's about Klopp not being risk averse at all. He just wants to go for it, and that's part and parcel. But he can do that. He can afford to do that because he knows he has a good centre back and decent enough goalkeeping Kelleher as well.
Yeah. And am I the only one that thinks that sometimes Mo Salah might not play well, but he always seems to score?
It's been that for him for quite a while as well.
Yeah, it's crazy,
this
bro.
season
Like,
as well,
yeah.
especially last season when we were having that convo between Saka and Salah. But 100%.
It goes like that when you're greedy, though.
Well, you said he just pops off shots.
He was popping off bare like wayward shots in that game, boy. Like we could have squared it to was one particular chance we could have squared it to Nunez, and he wasn't. Was not interested.
But like, what's Nunez gonna say, bro?
Huh?
What's he gonna say?
Yeah,
bro?
true.
Mac Posterson.
And also, Connor Bradley played in that game as well, right?
Yeah,
How did you think he did?
I think he did all right,
Yeah.
man. Now, obviously, some nameless guy mentioned that he got put on his bum. That he got put on his bum. But bro, like,
Hey, Doku did as well, man. Sorry to just pivot back there. I forgot to mention
who did
that.
you put on his bum?
I think, who is it? Trossard sorted it.
Oh, yeah.
He dropped him still.
Yeah, Doku. I didn't even want to mention him, but yeah,
It stunk.
Performance was crazy.
Yeah, but you know what it is? You've got
Grealish was dead as well, man.
Yeah, he was.
So was KDB.
He was again. But yeah, I'm all right with him getting put in his bum, bro, because like, you know what it is, like, as a defender, once in a while you're gonna get done. But as long as you have the confidence in the rest of your team to pick up where you have the slack in it, it's all good, man. It's the game is the game, man.
Remember that next time he gets onto Lisandro Martinez or Varane, by the way, guys.
No, but Varane's he's the guy that you don't have confidence in backing you, bro, when you get put in your bum. That's the problem. Whereas Lisandro Martinez, I have confidence that he's gonna back you.
And what about McAllister? Because he's assisted 5 goals for Liverpool in the Premier League now.
Yeah, man.
He's coming into it.
No, I think he arrived a while ago, to be fair, man. Pause. I think he arrived at this destination a while ago. And the weekend we were having a conversation, or during the international break, we were having a conversation, and some people think that Enzo is better than him. Obviously,
in what position?
In that, just playing as a centre, operating as a centre midfielder.
As a 6, yeah, Enzo's slightly better,
But is he though? Because remember, we've seen McAllister play 6 this season, and then McAllister's had a better season in him as a 6. But just in general, I'm talking about like the passing range and like the technical ability and all that kind of stuff.
It's obviously McAllister.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it is or that's what the discussion was. But
in terms of breaking up player, I'd rather have Endo.
Enzo.
Oh, Enzo.
Enzo Fernandez. Yeah.
Right now, I've seen more of McAllister.
Yeah.
I haven't really bought into the hype of Enzo.
Yeah, and I'm thinking of the Enzo that was at Benfica, and he was a proper player.
As I said, I only saw him from the World Cup.
And yeah, from the World Cup, he was very decent. But I don't think he was like obviously release clause 100 million decent in it. But yeah, it's just interesting to see McAllister like shine, and I think the difference as well between McAllister going to Liverpool and Enzo going to Chelsea is that McAllister wanted to go to Liverpool. And I think Enzo just went to Chelsea because they released his contract in it and then they're paying the money. But I don't, if you were to ask him, I don't think he would have wanted to go to Chelsea. And I think that's kind of showing by the way they're playing football, man. So,
and also, I don't think obviously McAllister's, this is 4th season in the Prem.
Third.
So,
sorry. No. It's his... Yeah, it's his third. No, it's his 3rd season, I think. So
didn't he have 3 seasons at Brighton?
I think it was maybe it's 3.5 because I think he came in the.
But I know what I'm to say, he's had longer in the Prem than
he has, but I do expect more from Enzo in his second season.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. When things are a bit more settled in midfield, I would say so.
Well, you expect more from him than McAllister?
Not more from in terms of like
just
delivering
more from
output,
him,
but just more from him.
Oh yeah.
But it depends as well. Like I feel like McAllister in the past, like what couple of months, he's been given more creative freedom to kind of cook a little bit. And
well, that's because Endo's playing 6 now, isn't it, man? So before he was playing, McAllister was playing 6, isn't it? So we were seeing a lot of misplaced passes and all that kind of stuff as well. Man.
Yeah, and who's that Endo guy for Chelsea?
It's meant to be
Caicedo that they paid 100.
Yeah, he seems like he gets forward a little bit more as well.
Yeah, that's why you have to.
So maybe Lavia.
But yeah, he's injured for the whole 12 months. But that's why you have to look at Poch, because that combination in midfield should be doing better.
Yeah,
but do you have to look at Poch though?
But that midfield, if Klopp had
what is
midfield,
it? Sorry, what is it?
Caicedo and Enzo.
Yeah.
And
Gallagher.
Yeah.
That's where it kind of falls down because there's no outlet there.
No, but he's got the personnel to switch it up for the same way you've got midfield of Endo, McAllister, and who's a third?
It's a rotating.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's, you could say Gallagher's the equivalent of Sabozza, not in the same league, but in terms of like just getting about.
Need to be a bit versatile, right?
Yeah, so that midfield should be doing better.
Gallagher would be more like Elliot playing in that.
Exactly.
Exactly that.
If Elliot can do it for Liverpool, then Gallagher. Essentially, what I'm trying to say, if Klopp had that midfield, they'll be doing better.
Yeah,
Arteta, Pep, everyone be doing better.
Yeah,
Ten Hag.
I
was hoping you were going to ask that, Wally. I can't lie.
Back to Liverpool though. Shout out to Kwanzaa as well. Like it was looking a bit sticky because Robeck is a difficult guy to come up. He's very tricky. Like he's very experienced in it. So respect to Kwanzaa for dealing with those guys. That I think that Carlos Baleba guy came on and it was looking like he was going to create problems for us as well.
Did he start? I thought he started in midfield.
I didn't realize him until he started playing football, man. So and then obviously shout out Gomez for handling the Dingra to a certain extent as well.
Oh, Dingra was on stuff.
He was, man.
But that was Bradley's side.
No, it wasn't.
No,
Dingra.
Yeah, Dingra.
No, I think he swapped over in the second half.
Okay.
Because
you're right. It is Bradley's side. It was Bradley's
because I saw him and Thingy had a couple battles though.
Yeah,
was
him and Bradley.
Him and Gomez had battles as well, bro.
Gomez was just being aggressive, man.
He wasn't.
Gomez played on the left, right?
He played on the left, so yeah, I saw them having battles. So I was thinking, maybe he ran. But Brighton are a problem, and Della, you rightly pointed out that Klopp hasn't beaten Deserby.
Yeah.
So like that's a huge win, man. That's a huge 3 points, man. Especially when you got your two rivals playing later on as well, man. So
yeah, man. I was really my hate watch was catastrophic, man. I wanted a draw badly, man. I even put a £2.50 on a 2-2 result.
Yo, mad, bro.
Nah, that's
it came close. It came close.
Nah, it did. I just wanted to see his reaction.
It came close, bro.
That's a no-brainer.
Nah. Brighton, they did all right, to be fair. But I wanted to ask Marley Mark, what about Nunes?
What
about Nunes?
Nunes played
he played all right, but he didn't have much in terms of that scoring wise. It is a Nunes performance.
He was ass, man.
No, really. What do you think of
watching, like the way maybe I'm judging it based on his price tag. As a footballer.
So what do you think of Haaland then when you watch him play? Because obviously
as Roy Keane said,
because I always thought that, but
you have always said that, innit? You've actually went on to Haaland.
But my thing about Nunes is, I've said
all
that
round he's better than Haaland.
Yeah, and I think obviously the link up. I've always said the link up is ass, but funnily enough, this guy bags assists, bro.
Yeah.
So that's why it's a bit weird for me. So I don't know how much I can call him.
He had that weird kind of like shot on the floor where it was on his bum and then he tried to hit it.
I like that one. If
that went in, I would have rated it.
For the player that he is on the pitch, bruv, he's got the right tools, bruv. He can create an assist. I say create an assist. He can provide an assist. Don't know if that, but it feels different. And he can score a goal. Like he's not particularly good at dribbling, but he can dribble better than someone like Haaland, I would say.
If you were Klopp here, who would you have, Nunes or Haaland?
Haaland, man.
I don't know. No, I think I'm up front. Do you know why? Yeah, because Nunes does more than goals, and everyone, you got more players.
I heard that, but if you've got Salah on the right, Diaz on the left, transition.
Salah doesn't pass though, or something.
No, but I think he'd be forced to.
But remember, Klopp's teams. He's a guy that had Firmino in the spearhead.
Yeah,
so having a Haaland wouldn't make a difference because you wouldn't really play through him like that.
But if Klopp was doing, he's still the original heavy metal where you had that midfield of Vid, Henderson, and wherever. It's like break the ball and give it straight away. Transition. That's Haaland is the best fit.
But I remember with that rock and roll football, they had Firmino, bruv. Firmino was a heavy part of it.
No, I'm saying they can do that, but I feel like with Haaland, it's literally like you don't have to do hold up play. Transition, everyone attacks.
But you do.
It's like the arrow.
You do.
Otherwise, what's Salah there for?
You don't have to do what.
So basically, you'll be eliminating the purpose of Salah, the necessity for Salah.
They can all attack. It's like because the flying arrow.
Because when we do that flying arrow attack, you've got somebody who's there who can pick up the ball, and then 2 guys running off of him. If you've got 3 guys who are running,
but if you did it slightly different now, where you've got McAllister.
He can't be a part of it.
No. McAllister's the midfield now. So get rid of your midfield where you had Vid, Henderson, and someone else that doesn't want to control the game. You got McAllister, so you don't need Firmino to drop deep now. So McAllister's the one that'll pick up the ball. Everyone runs. He's got players through the centre, left and right. Pick out a pass. Haaland is perfect for that system.
I think we're thinking of 2 different counters because I'm thinking of an Alisson.
What are you thinking? I don't even think you've been thinking for a minute.
Yeah, because I'm thinking of like an Alisson drop kick. You know, like the Man United. No, but you know the one where
someone holds a flick.
Yeah. So like, let's say the
Haaland
ball
can do flick-ons. Not, bruv. That's how they beat Arsenal last season.
Yeah, maybe, but that's not something I would ascribe to. That's not something I would subscribe to.
Is Darwin that good in the air?
That was great in there, bro.
For flick-ons and everything.
Bro, man.
Okay.
Yeah, and scoring headers as well.
But I was going to say, Joe, in terms of Nunes, though, is he probably one of them players you need to keep on his toes? So in terms of you know how Klopp before was rotating him? Yeah, 100%. They was kind of taking him off. He was coming on. He was being more of an impact player. Yeah. Then he's like, you got to put me in a team now.
He's from the mean streets of Montevideo in Uruguay. So them guys need to be hungry, bro. So I was like, if this guy's getting game time consistently, you can see his thirst and hunger for the game isn't as much as it is when he's coming off the bench and when he's playing angry, innit? So I kind of agree with you there still.
But it's just the same old mentality, though. They're doing it for Klopp, right? This never say die.
Maybe, but again, we've seen Liverpool do this before even when Klopp wasn't leaving, innit? So it's, they're professionals at the end of the day, man, and it's their experience in this kind of title race, man. So let's just hope for the best, man.
Yeah, but you can be experienced, but sometimes your emotion can get the better of you when you're up against tactical geniuses.
But you said that at the beginning when you found out about Klopp, and I think they've been very much in control of their emotions so far.
Was it a broken clock is right?
No, but I think so far.
Excellent. I agree with you. I agree with you.
No, but all right, I did say that, but what, you don't think Liverpool been running on emotion? Like when you watch Liverpool play, they don't give you like Arsenal vibes from last season.
No.
I don't know about Arsenal vibes, but that's Klopp's style though. Klopp is an emotional guy, but
wait, why did you have to insult us with Arsenal? I'm not even didn't win any of the last 8 games last season.
No, but I'm just saying, like, when you're watching Liverpool, it's like you feel like you're excited to watch them. Like it's almost you become a Liverpool fan, you know what I'm saying? Like you buy into it, and it's that emotion kind of thing, and it's real like, oh my god, this game's sick. At one point, I'm thinking it's going to be 3-1 Liverpool, and then I'm like, oh snap, like, hold on a second, whoa, like this game is crazy.
I know what he's saying.
And then when you win, you're just like, I feel it, like with all the Liverpool fans around me, it's like, like you see Bonds come out of nowhere in the group. It's a real emotion, guys. Whereas now, I'm watching football now, and I've got like as an Arsenal fan, I'm watching it and I'm proper assured. Like when you man are bantering me, I'm like, yo, I'm good here, you know?
Yeah, that's dry, man. That's dry, bruv. That's why your game was dry, bruv.
Fair enough. But I'm just saying, like, do you think that emotion, it's like AJ, when AJ was emotional, he had all that emotion. But like, in the end, he couldn't be Usyk with it.
Just correct. I don't know if that's a Klopp thing. I think it is a Klopp thing, but I think that's why Klopp suits Liverpool, because that's also a Liverpool thing.
Okay.
That's always, like, anytime we've won anything, it's always been, we should be 4-1 up or whatever. Then at the end, it's a big sigh to say, yeah, we've pushed it over the line. So
that's why I reckon you can. That's why I see, like, the games I see you dropping points in. Not that it's important, but I think you could drop points against United.
Yeah,
only because I think United's gonna have that FA Cup win.
We don't win at Old Trafford like that.
Yeah, they're these frauds, bruv. They show up for games like this as well. So we're gonna give them a tough game.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously Sunday coming, and then the other one, I think Villa's gonna be a tough game. I don't think it's impossible after the way Spurs dealt with them, but I think Villa Park might be a toughie.
They've got history. Remember the last?
And then that game against Spurs where you're looking to avenge.
No, I think we'll deal with Spurs. You know?
I think you will as well, but where that emotion element's coming in for me, kind of thing. Like, bro, I wouldn't be surprised watching you man play Sheffield United, and then it's a real emotional. Oh my God, 2 goals in the last 2 minutes of the game. Like that's
winning that game.
Yeah, winning that game.
Because we struggled against Sheffield in the return fixture as well.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm just thinking, how is that sustainable? Like you've got to literally remember the point difference now is 2 or 3. Let's say even if we disregard Arsenal, and City are the people that go on that run and they don't lose another game. You can't give up 3 points, bro. You know what I'm saying? You can't give up 3 points. So do you really want to be playing your games with that emotion, Klopp farewell tour? Or do you want to control it?
Joey, he's drawing you in, man. It's because Arteta didn't do the free, the fist pump. He didn't do it this time.
He didn't do it this time.
Nah, he didn't do it.
Because there's boys in my group saying that's an Arteta thing.
Arteta's made it. He's put 4 on it.
That's your man. You go stand by.
Exactly.
like any digs or whatever.
I don't think you're digging. I don't think he's digging here.
I really think there is an emotive element to it, and it might be the brand, but I don't know if that's what you want going into this running.
No, you don't, man. But at the same time, that's what's brought us the glory that we've experienced. So like, how a player can't change his game in the 9th inning.
Yeah, but bro,
that's the game's a game, man.
33 years, 1 Prem. Like, I don't know if that's the DNA that you want to be standing by that much.
No,
like, at some point you want to change
100%, because you have to remember you're also part of that DNA, bro. Where it's been how many seasons since you last won a Prem?
Listen, this wasn't meant to be. This wasn't meant to be an attack.
I'm saying you have to understand that we're all against extenuating circumstances in this team that should be relegated to Tandridge League.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. But so I'm saying we're all dealing with the same circumstances here, where this team has been cheating, but we're gonna do what we can, innit, man? And it's what Klopp done that in the Bundesliga, and he's trying to do it here, man.
I was going to say as well, is it fair to say that maybe De Zerbi might be one of the people in line next?
Oh, 100%.
What's he done?
No, bro.
What's everyone
I just wanted to ask
surprised
because I'm hearing.
Wait, hang on. This guy has come in and he's... Remember, this is a Graham
I'm not saying he's bad, by the way.
It's a Graham Potter team that couldn't bang no goals. But that everybody gave Graham Potter ratings for. So he's come in and he's got this team competing. He's broken records, gotten this team into Europe. Yeah, like he's achieved a lot with this team on a very small budget.
Would you be happy with him then? Yeah,
I'm not.
Sounds like it.
No, but I'll be happy with him as a fall guy, because remember, after the king leaves, bro, it's chaos.
Yeah,
it's chaos, isn't it?
You know how it is.
But I'm happy to give this guy an opportunity if he comes in. I'm happy, but personally, I think my first choice at this point, after the research I've been doing, after like kind of people have been saying stuff, is Ruben Amorim from Sporting.
Yeah.
So like that's the best name I've seen.
Why him?
Because I've seen the way they play football, and I like how they play ball, and I like, but I don't even, that's another thing. I don't know if it's skewed because of Gyökeres and how much he's banging goals in Portugal, innit? But the way they play football, I do like it.
Yeah.
And I would like to see a new style of football come in after Klopp. I don't want somebody to come in and just try and
the way they're emotional like you guys as well.
But the way Brighton plays, they have a good style of football, and if they had good personnel playing that football, bro, it'll be very effective in the Premier League.
And
last season I thought when I said the emotional. Brighton,
no, but remember, I was saying last season, I was saying
as well. To be fair,
last season I was saying Brighton played the best football outside of Arsenal.
Yeah.
So I think that's something I would like to see done at Liverpool too.
Yeah, I was going to say in terms of the Portuguese league, we know how tough it is anyway. So obviously when Porto played Arsenal, so with the Sporting manager. I'm being real.
That was a solid callback still.
No, I'm being real.
I don't think it's that tough, but fair if you're going to use us as
the Portuguese league, I think it's a decent.
Do you know what's also crazy as
league to play in?
I think one of the highest success rates in transfers from external leagues is the Portuguese league. When it comes to England, I think they have like the
over France.
What managers?
No, in terms of players.
Yeah.
So like the players seem to bed in England quite comfortably and quite quickly as well. So
when we played them, because I remember when we played them Sporting Club Portugal, and I was there, like they were making so much noise. I felt like it was rivaling us. And we're not quiet nowadays. So I do feel like obviously that manager could go from one environment to another and fit in. So it's interesting you mentioned him. I just wondered about the De Zerbi thing.
So next for Liverpool, Sheffield United, you at home.
We should blast them. We should. But
and
again,
then obviously
we're
Man
top of the
United
table,
at
there's that
Old
pressure.
Trafford.
We should also win that game, man.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, man. Like, we're gonna get onto it, man. But if we lose that game, yeah, I think if, let's say, for example, I'm just seeing somebody wearing a singlet or a vest, just drinking Stella Artois, beating up somebody. I'm not gonna say it's their wife or something, but you know when England lose, the domestic violence, it goes up, bro. I can see that happening here because this is not a game this is not something that should be happening, bro. We shouldn't be losing to Man United and we shouldn't be dropping points to Man United.
They got that Stockport Sadorf. That's the as well. So obviously he's a game changer now. You haven't heard?
But I don't know what he's saying.
No, he's the guy now, isn't it? So obviously he's their new club.
Right, moving on, Marley Ma. It's only fair, right?
Again, not much is going over at Old Trafford, man. So this doesn't have to be too long, boy.
Nah.
So what's your next game?
What?
Chelsea on Thursday, I think.
Oh, Chelsea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Battle of the Clowns.
It'll be interesting. So
That's
obviously,
gonna be a good game, though.
It should be a good game because you just don't know what you're going to get with either side.
I was going to say it was 1-1, but god damn, that was a woeful performance, bro.
Bro,
Woeful.
if you had won that game,
I know, bro. I would have felt cheated.
It would have been horrible. It would have been horrible. Legit, that because I was in Antwerp at the time, so I was kind of watching it with a bit of a hazy eye. So when we scored that goal, I was like, I was so baffled, like absolutely baffled. But I don't know because the way the game went, I just had a feeling that something crazy could still happen.
For Brentford.
For Brentford against us, type of thing. Because Tony played well.
Do you think so?
He did.
Yeah.
I was watching him, and I was thinking, I don't know if he's built for a top club. You know, I remember you've been saying it. And
I agree,
and I wasn't where you were.
I agree with that.
Okay, and not to make this Highland versus
Brentford. I mean, Tony.
Is Highland built for a top 4 team?
No, but
but he's there.
Yeah,
no, but exactly. So I think if Tony goes there, like I could see him doing well at Tottenham or Chelsea right now.
Well, though, do you think it? Because I don't.
Tottenham, I can. Yeah,
I don't think he's as good as Watkins.
I think he's better than Watkins.
I think he's better than Watkins.
Why? I don't think he.
I feel like to be rough. Watkins seems a bit still
stiff.
No, that seems a bit like rough. Not rough.
Watkins is just all pace for me.
Yeah,
he's just pace.
He has the guile. Tony has guile. Composure.
I get what you mean.
Watkins just seems. Watkins, me personally, I just don't see him at a top 4.
Watkins, okay, yeah. I mean,
and moving the needle.
Yeah, and I genuinely feel the same about Tony. I don't think Tony goes into one of the top 4 teams or the top 6. But, we're linked to him at the minute, but I don't think he moves the needle. That
obviously, you said Hoyland's already there at United.
Yeah,
but if Tony was at United now, you don't think he'll have a bigger
more of an impact? Yeah, I do. Yeah. I do think he'll have more of an impact. But in terms of like, I mean, because I didn't particularly want Hoyland when we were linked and signed him, but it's a case of we've got him now, and I think Joey's posed the question: would I preferred Hoyland over Tony? To be honest, we've got like better definitely know.
Yeah.
So I'm quite happy with Hoyland considering his age. He seems like he's got a bit of potential about him. It makes more sense for him to be in the team than Tony.
Only reason why I brought up Tony is because there was certain times I'm seeing him like in his build-up play, he just looked a little bit like. Did you man see that the warm-up video with Haaland before the game, when they were doing
one touch thing? Yeah.
Tony looked like he plays like that in the game.
Dan, that's why I don't rate. I don't rate him.
Yeah,
here we go.
But at the same time, he will have them moments of magic, like the one where he's got that assist.
Where he got the assist, where he plotted it for 45 yards on the volley.
Yeah.
Left foot volley.
He's a bit like unknown.
He's a maverick. And I don't know. As a start, I wouldn't want him, but in the squad, because again, Man United are linked, and if we do go for him, for 30 million, I'll be happy. And it's not going to be 30 million, it's going to be like 60.
And I think this is the issue, isn't it? It's going to come down to the price.
To the price.
It's definitely going to be more than 60 because I think he's got a great relationship with Brentford, and the likelihood is that he'll be trying to get them as much money as possible.
Negotiate the deal with him. Yeah.
But sorry, I just think what is your hesitation, or what do you not like about his style of play? Because I don't know if it necessarily will fit into Man United.
I think it was.
Yeah, I'm not saying I don't like his style of play. I just don't think he's elite. Like, and I think we've got a striker that has potential now in Hoyland. And I think if we're going to get another striker, I think we need to be aiming for a striker of a better ilk. Whatever that looks like, that Haaland or a Kane. Like, for instance, if we got Kane at the time we were linked, that would make sense.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
So what striker would you take now?
Yeah,
and that's where it gets tricky.
That's baffling now.
Nketiah might be on the market.
No.
No, we've got Haaland now. We don't need him anymore. We definitely don't do that. We definitely don't need him.
Because I think there's a lot for Højlund to learn from Tony.
You think?
100%, bro. 100%, bro. Like, we saw them playing on the same pitch, bro, and we saw that you guys didn't have any outlets. But Tony was a constant outlet for Man United, bro.
But I think Man United have shown before that when you get a little bit of experience up there, like even when we got loan strikers and we even had like a Cavani or Ibrahimovic, that's what you kind of need.
No, that's different though, because apart from Ibrahimovic, all the other guys, they weren't coming here to kind of like bring up the value of the club.
They weren't bringing up that, but I'm saying in terms of the experience that they can bring to someone like Højlund.
But you know what? I actually think, Tony at United would work.
You think?
Yeah.
Under ETH?
He's actually ETH style of player, to be fair. He likes them big
because obviously he had Haller. But I do feel like with Tony, because Tony drops as well. So when he drops, then Bruno can Bruno can vacate that space in the centre. Then when he drops, he's also good at finding a pass as well.
That's
so there's not all so reliance on just Bruno to be your playmaker. So it could work. He could be your focal point. He can.
But does he drop because Brentford need that? Because maybe, I don't think I think one good thing about him that I think would work at United is that he goes out wide. So like, for example, you saw Man United, the centre backs, they just couldn't go with him out wide. So every time he'll get the ball, Wissa would run in, and that would create gaps for Wissa.
For Rashford.
For exactly. So I think that's how it would work for Man United.
If Ten Hag was a decent manager, but if I can see it, honestly,
genuinely like that. It makes sense for Ten Hag because that is genuinely his style of player. Like you mentioned Haaland and who was they had another guy as well.
Tadic.
But
Tadic is different.
Was he a lefter?
Yeah,
on the left. Or the right forward. Can't remember.
Left.
Was he left? Yeah, he's left-footed.
Yeah, he was left.
So he's left or he's
no. He was playing on the left.
He was playing on the left.
Yeah, for
with Haller.
What do you mean?
Together.
I don't. But were they at the same time?
I feel like
I know he was definitely playing on the left.
I feel like they had another striker as well before that. I'll check.
Oh, there's a Brazilian guy that used to play on the right before Anthony.
Oh yeah. I can't remember his name.
Neres.
Yeah. But we're talking about strikers, right?
Yeah, strikers. Yeah.
And the only one I can recall that played on the Ten Hag was Haller. But for the Champions League one, I don't know who they had up front. It wasn't Haller, but Tadic.
No, it wasn't Haller.
It was Tadic.
But it's interesting anyway, because obviously throughout that game, Man United, before Brentford scored, were peppered with 30 shots.
Yeah, it was mad. But that's so like regular. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Point. So like consistent. It is
baffling.
Absolutely bonkers.
And do we have to give a special mention to Onana?
No.
Why?
No, I'm only saying this because
30 shots.
No, because if you go from every game now, like majority of games, he is peppered, bro.
Like, more than any
I
other
think
keeper.
he's had like something like 106 shots on him or something like that.
But is he making good saves or saves that he should be making?
Mostly saves. He made a couple good saves against Liverpool.
But the thing is, regardless of whether he should be making these saves, my thing is compared to like other teams in the Prem, especially even like with the top 4 or 5. Their keepers ain't dealing with this amount of shots to that extent. Like, bro, imagine you're a keeper and you're getting 30 shots at you every game.
Yeah,
isn't that easier for a keeper though? Because like surely like in the games like for Ederson where he's not in the game and then all of a sudden
I think that as well. I genuinely think that when I had that stint as a goalkeeper, I had my best games when we was getting peppered.
Yeah, bro. Because your head is switched over.
I get it every now and then, but bro, every game it might become a point where obviously Onana becomes a bit of a focal point, which I think is a bit unfair on him.
So someone done a review though, like just in terms of like we're facing a lot of shots, but apparently the quality of shots that we're facing ain't
great.
Particularly like threatening. So yeah, man. Positives. Mason Mount scored. Well,
there wasn't many. To be fair, there wasn't many at all.
It wasn't.
But question.
I think. Go on. Was it?
I was gonna say, these are Ten Hag gets a third season.
Yeah, I think
no. Do you see him making any changes?
Yeah.
So, like, in what sort of, and if that, and why?
I think it will be personnel. I think if he makes changes, it needs to be get rid of
his approach to the game.
His approach to the game, but also the personnel as well. I think he hasn't really been lucky in the sense that he's brought in a lot of his own guys for sure, but he's still got an abundance of old, like, stale wood that he needs to get rid of, and hopefully in the summer he gets an opportunity to do that under the new ownership. So
you think it's just personnel that he needs to change, and everything will magically?
Well, not magically, but I think that's a large part of what the problem is, and that's one thing that hasn't been addressed. Like, we've obviously addressed the leadership, and now we just need to try and sort out the personnel and see what happens. I'd like
to see it personally. I just don't think it'll work.
And he's only
what's that based on? Like, just because of this one
I've seen
season?
No, 2 seasons, bro. 2 seasons.
But the first season.
No. But that's why I'm going Karen.
Yeah, but I'm saying the first season, like, we see him.
We saw him start. Yeah.
We saw him try. We saw him try the initial style of play that he came from his previous club was.
Yeah, what is it?
Which was
playing out from the back, trying to keep the ball, but then he started. He tried. And even if you think about the preseason, when United beat Arsenal preseason, they were balling, bro.
We did look.
Okay, so then why did it change throughout the whole season?
Bro, he's personnel, he's injury.
Okay, so
Maybe mental health as well.
How did it start?
I think that's not funny. You shouldn't be laughing at mental health.
How did it start? I think what started the downturn was
no. He said Ten Hag started off with playing from the back. So how did it start and why did it fade?
I think
the injuries, because everybody's had bad injuries.
But some maybe United might have a mad golfing class between their first 11 and the rest of their squad.
Remember, because nobody knew about Conor Bradley's class until Conor Bradley started getting game time, because he had to have game time. But if he didn't,
but then you realise there's not that much of a golfing class between you guys. So you're still looking good.
But I'm saying if Conor Bradley wasn't good, Conor Bradley would still be playing.
And you might not be getting the results you're getting, and maybe we might be harshly critical.
We still see our style of playing though.
Liverpool's style of change doesn't.
It wouldn't change, bro.
This is my thing for United, is that we haven't had a style for a long time now.
So that's what my question is. What do you now expect to see in the third season? You may change the personnel.
I don't think he'd be there.
No, but let's say he was there. Do you expect that? That's what I'm saying. If
no, I don't think it'll change now. I don't think I've seen.
You think it's too far gone?
Yeah, I think it's too far gone, because apparently even today I think there was an emergency board meeting.
I heard today that he's been given a 3-year contract.
That's a lie.
That's what I heard.
No way. That's a lie.
But you guys have been linked to Gareth Southgate, and who was the other guy?
I don't know why.
So who else was you linked to? There was someone else.
I think someone's just doing that for Southgate.
Gary O'Neill was part of the coaching staff, which was disrespectful.
That is crazy. Part of the coaching staff.
That's disrespectful.
As in disrespectful to Gary O'Neill.
Yeah.
Oh, Gary O'Neill. Yeah. I agree. I thought he said United.
Yeah, he said he was flattered to be linked, but obviously he's a manager. He's not going to go.
Yeah, that's. I think reports like that are actually rude. Like, how dare you, bro?
Yeah, Steve McClaren.
Steve McClaren, he went 50 steps back to being the coaching staff.
But back to your point. So why do you seem to have so much confidence that in his first season things will?
Bro, honestly, I'm purely basing it on the turnaround of Mikel Arteta. Bro.
Yeah, there's nothing to about Man United. It's all about Arsenal. Bro.
It's a fair point though. He stripped the club. He got rid of all the bad egg.
But you saw an identity. That's what I'm saying. In 2 seasons, you guys haven't seen anything.
I didn't see it. I'll be honest.
But you watching
Arsenal, you didn't see it.
I don't see that
as well.
I wish I could go back to the tape.
No, because we had to change our style a couple of times. What if you give Dallas Chard the mic, he will start telling you about this identity we had, but he won't. He will conveniently miss out when we had to change that.
No, but we kind of had to start playing out from the back from day one,
bro. Then we stopped. We had to stop playing that way. We had to stop playing that way, and that was because of our personnel as well.
No, but the reason why I'm essentially, if you come into management, the difference between Ten Hag and Arteta. Ten Hag has been managing for over a decade. Yeah. So therefore, I wouldn't give him as much time as someone who's never managed before.
That's not fair.
Yeah.
That's not fair. If you're going into a new environment, it's a new club, it's a new country.
Let me finish. I'm saying I'll still give you that time.
You're tripping, bro.
So how much time?
No, I'll still give you time. But I won't give you as much time.
So how much time would you
give
him?
For Ten Hag, I'm giving him 2 seasons.
2? As in including this one?
Yeah.
Yes. Let me finish. Let me think.
This is why I say you hate Man United, by the way.
No. This is a fair point, because if you're a senior project manager and you've got a junior project manager, you're not giving them the same leeway, right? So Arteta's never managed before, so I'm giving him more leeway. And in both of them situations, you need to see them give you something.
Yes.
And what I'm saying with
he has.
No, let me
He
finish.
gave them silverware for it.
No, but if you're short-sighted, then you focus on those.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
So Arteta came in, you can see the identity change. He came in under Emery. Arsenal were conceding loads of shots. He changed that straight away. Arsenal were now playing on the front foot, but they weren't winning games. So it's like, okay, cool, this ain't working. When he started winning games, he went with the back five or back three. Cool. So I'm like, okay, this is someone that's never managed before, and he can identify that. Second season, you can see he's still trying to do stuff. And things obviously, he didn't start off the greatest. But again, you have to give him his leeway to say, you know what, let him learn his trade.
And that second season was the one where it kind of almost collapsed.
Exactly, but let him learn his trade. So therefore, I can't hire you as a junior project manager and give you the same expectations as a senior project manager.
Even though you've heard many esteemed managers come out and talk about Manchester United's environment that they're working with.
So that's Arteta, right? So that's what I'm saying. Why I'm giving him a bit more leeway. But under Ten Hag now, okay, cool. I'm giving him 2 seasons for a senior for a season manager. So first season, okay, cool. Get yourself in the team. Understand what you're having to deal with. Second season, I need to see something.
Establish your style of football.
And people say, you know, he got us to top 4, whatever. But were you happy with the style of play?
That was actually,
You were happy. Okay, so if you're happy with the style of play, what has happened so much in the second season is dropped off completely.
I don't know, man. The mood in the club has been terrible.
You weren't happy, bro. You weren't happy.
It's been terrible, isn't it? What do you want? But Sancho has had to do with Rashford situation, Ronaldo situation.
What's going on?
It's been crazy, bro.
I'm not held of that, but on the pitch, you're still playing football.
And it's
and that's what I'm saying. Like you can't see anything. So that's what I'm saying. So why do you expect to see something will magically change in the third season? I can give you the personnel, but do you honestly believe that you're going to give him the personnel and he's going to fit them in the right place? Because the person that he's brought in, Mason Mount,
injured.
No. I'm just okay. Mason Mount,
Anthony.
Who's the other midfielder that's on loan?
Amrabat. Yeah.
Some and then you got Bruno.
Loan, by the way, Amrabat.
No, I don't care about loans. Again, building a team is all about balance, composition, and styles. Your midfield, like everyone's very similar.
Yeah.
So and then you're going to go and bring Mount when Mount is very similar to Bruno.
I hate what you're saying.
How can I trust you in the first season to give me something different?
I hate what you're saying, but I think you got to see out his contract. He's been given.
I want him to stay there.
Yeah, he's been given a 3-year deal.
Well, why do you want him to stay there though? You wanted to
so he can be proven right
for us to ship to sink, bruv.
No, because I would like to see it because I honestly believe nothing will change. Yeah. But at the same time, we're at the stage now where for United, you can't just keep on changing the manager.
Agreed.
I do believe that maybe, you know what, let's try something else. So for that reason, I'm like, yeah, go for it. Do I think it will work? I don't think so, but I think it's the right thing to do.
I think for me, it's just like, I know we had the international break, but then you beat Liverpool and then you go to Brentford and then you're almost back to square one. So you go from like being...
Oh, it's less than square one.
Well, do you know what I mean? It's like crazy, bro. I'm watching this game going, 42, what the hell?
But that's why I say the players, they're frauds, bro, because they flip the script for these big games. Like when the camera's on them, and that's something I used to criticize.
Liverpool was used to that.
Liverpool, and I think I used to criticize Arsenal for it as well. Like they show up for the when the cameras are on, like they show up. And Man United, they have a lot of Rashford, for instance. He'll play one of his best games of the season on the weekend, and probably against Chelsea as well. Like I don't know, man. I know. It's
just been a bit crazy watching that game, I can't lie.
Yeah, it was
every time I was looking up, it was just Brentford nearly scored, post on a save.
Like, because you lot were running your mouth all throughout international break because of...
Who was? No, but not about Man United. Don't do that, though. That's not fair, bruv.
You lot were unbearable. I had no beef with you guys because you guys haven't been my concern for a while, but when I realised you hadn't changed, that's when I was like, nah.
Who anybody here?
Bruv, Marley Marl
that's not
he was one of my major antagonists.
Do you know that's not fair? Because listen, I've been screaming like Maino's name for a time on my line. It wasn't just this international break. These new cats were getting on your nerves, bruv. Not me, bruv. No, because you should be used to it from me.
But then what it was, then you guys started transitioning from that to
Arsenal.
Playing on Arsenal's downfall.
I don't know if it was.
I didn't.
I don't know if it was him. I don't know if it was him. I don't know.
In the last episode.
But hey, Arsenal, man, they done their thing this weekend, man. Respect, man.
And the thing that annoyed me, I think the most, is that I feel like Maino was drowning because we were almost expecting him to do something with the other players around him not doing too much. If that's fair to say.
Yeah.
Sorry, your midfield was McTominay and Maino.
Bruno.
The
Bruno.
two pivots. Sorry,
Yeah.
I mean. And McTominay was going forward.
Which he does all the time.
So what's the instructions there? Because if Bruno goes forward, or Bruno goes wherever he wants to go, and McTominay is going forward, and Maino's also joining the attack, there was loads of space in back.
The attack, was he sitting?
I'll be honest, I'll kind of watched the game in flashes, and I saw Match of the Day, so I didn't see the whole game.
Yeah, I watched the game, bro, because I did play a cam because of all the beef. So Maino, he's capable of taking the ball and carrying it forward.
Yeah.
But when the ball possession it breaks down, there's always gaps, and it always looks like he's blowing, bro, when he's trying to get back. Because I don't know, in FIFA, you got like your attacking aggression and your defensive aggression. Yeah. His attacking is quite high, but I think his ability to get back. McTominay was, bro, it was useless him being on the pitch, bro.
I agree.
So I don't get it, because you're not great defensively, in my opinion. And you're not great attackingly when you start games. So what is the point of you being there?
You know what's
that,
crazy for me is that Man United beat Liverpool and we hardly had any of our team on.
I think Liverpool beat Liverpool, if I'm going to
but what I'm saying is, bro, in terms of, it almost had to be like a crazy team out there for us to go and get any points. Do you know what I mean?
Didn't you start the same team?
Well, but by the end of the game, I'm saying, do you know, where everyone was at our position, we didn't really have a back line. We had Anthony back there. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, okay,
so for me, when you've got players who are playing in their position and we're getting peppered, it's what's happened here? What has happened to this team?
So who started up top? Your front three?
Højlund, Rashford and Garnacho.
Yeah.
I thought Anthony's not done anything.
No, he came in as a sub.
Didn't do much, to be honest. But I think that's because Brentford were running the whole game, to be honest.
Controversial take. I think Anthony will do well next season.
Left back. I don't know where we play. Why do you think he'll do well next season?
I think he'll do well, bro.
I don't know where I came from.
No, I think he, now that he's got his,
for a record.
Remember, he tried to, after his court case, he tried to go good and go back to black hair. Now he's gone back to blonde hair, bro. He's the opposite of Saka still.
Yeah, so out of anything, Mount scoring, and then obviously they scored in the last minute. Where do United go from here?
That one goal pissed me off, bro.
Where do United go from here?
I think fifth will be enough to get Champions League. I do think
get fifth though.
It's going to be tricky. That is crazy. Tricky. That's going to be very, very
obviously
tricky to get.
Villa won and Spurs won.
Spurs won, yeah. I still
Villa
think
and Spurs both have Man City. And then Spurs obviously have Man City, Liverpool, and Chelsea. So
I think as I said earlier, I think I said in the last episode, I think if we're going to catch anyone, it'll be Spurs. But we're not making it easy for ourselves at all. So it's going to be tough. And to be honest, I don't think based on this season we don't deserve it.
But sorry, just to hark back to what you were saying before, you were happy with the style of play last season.
Yeah, I didn't have no concerns or no issues
But this season, do you think the injuries are enough to take you from, what was it, 4th place to 3rd place, was it last season?
If we didn't have injuries this season, would it have been enough to
do you think the injuries that have happened this season are enough to have you aiming for right 6th, 5th?
It's contributed, but I think we've had
because you've lost a centre back from majority. Martinez has played 9 games this season.
Left back we've lost pretty much the whole season as well. Got Wan-Bissaka there now.
Played 13 games this season,
maybe even less.
And Reguilon was there as well.
Reguilon, who's also trash, but
it has been disjointed.
But again, it's no more than Liverpool, for example.
No, I think it is more than Liverpool, but I get your point.
No, because remember, Matip, we lost him first game of the season. He's been out for the whole season, and he started this season as well.
But then who else?
Robertson's been out for a majority of the season.
That can be sure.
Trent's been out for God knows how long. Yeah. So it's
Wan-Bissaka.
What do you mean?
In terms of I'm just first team players that are out. Delo's been playing for sure.
So you've had long term injuries. So have we, and we've had players that are coming from academy. And under 18s to come in and play football, bro. So,
but that's the thing, though. If we go back to Della's point, that he's not he's like a season manager. This is football.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that the reserves are good either. I'm not saying that they're amazing.
But my argument to that, in terms of obviously we're comparing Liverpool, I would just say that Klopp has been there for way longer than.
But my question is, how can you be happy with the style of football, bro? If it doesn't allow for players to be easily replaced in that situation. Like, for example, Arsenal lost Zinchenko and they've got Kiwior, who's not a fullback, who can come in and slot in. Or they've got Tomiyasu, who can also come in and play these because they have a system. So how can you be happy with the football that you had last season if it doesn't allow for that?
But ideally, we would have players that can actually come in and play their actual position. So obviously, Shaw's been out. Malacia should be going into that position, not Reguilon that's coming from another club that doesn't know our style of play. No, I'm not playing Amra back there and left back.
I'm not talking about. I'm talking about, like, for example, obviously I just used Kiwior as an example, but they could probably get somebody else in the team to go and play there, like Urian Timber. But I'm just saying the point is your system doesn't allow for players to come in and follow very precise instructions,
like a process,
and play football. It's just like come in and hope for the best.
I think it does. I think it does.
No, not
I think it does. But we have who have we replaced in those positions though?
I'm saying that when Wan-Bissaka comes on, Wan-Bissaka does a completely different job to Luke Shaw when he comes on, whereas Gomez can go there and do the same job that Robertson does, or they say this is your job, you got to come in. Wan-Bissaka is just up and down, up and down, up and down.
Yeah, because he's a right back playing at left back. I think that's the complete difference. Gomez has played there before, though, hasn't he? I'm sure he has.
But he played left back, but he's not right.
But Wan-Bissaka hasn't.
But it's the same job, but you're just using a different foot. You can't go on the inside.
Let me try to make sense. So essentially, Liverpool have a template, Arsenal have a template, City have a template. So therefore, you can put players in there. They may not be able to
do as much
as well,
but
they'll still try to do it. With Man United, there is no template. So when Luke Shaw is missing, you may put like a Dallo playing left back, but he's going to play it completely different. I know he's right-footed, but he's going to play it completely different. Whereas if you've got Arsenal, when Zinchenko's out, you're playing centre-back at left back, but you're asking him to do exactly the same thing.
So go through the options. So Zinchenko's out, who plays there then?
Kiwior.
And then after that,
Tomiyasu.
And then after that, who's
Timber.
Because Man United, we've got our first, second, and third technically already out, and then Wan-Bissaka's like the last.
I hear what you're saying, but the point I'm saying is like essentially there's still the templates. So all those four players, you can put them there. They're meant to be able to do the exact same thing. Yeah. But they're still trying to do that same thing.
Yeah, but the template is based on players that can actually... but also players that can actually play in a position, play in that position.
Kiwior has never played there.
Yeah, it's not.
He's never played there.
Not left back. He's a centre back.
He's a centre back.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
So that's what I'm saying.
Fair enough, okay.
And then obviously when Tomiyasu plays there, even though he's
a right back and a right centre back.
Arteta still tries to make him play the inverted.
Yeah, fair enough.
I realise it's not working.
I think it's long for ETH personally.
And so that's why when we... Sorry, just not to drag, but that's why when we're talking about like the Zerbi and we're talking about Spurs, they have a template where, for example, Pedro Porro can play or Emerson Royale can play in that position, and they do similar roles. They're not as good. Even when they lost their centre backs, Emerson Royale's playing centre back, bro. So they have like players where they can just take them in. They're not going to be as potent or as effective, but they know that this is the style of football we're going to play because this is what we do every day on the training ground.
I hear what you're saying. I think the difference in Man United is there hasn't been any kind of like consistent, particularly in our centre backs, for instance. So with Arsenal, they can interchange their fullback, sure, but they've got Gabriel and they've got Saliba there. Non-stop.
No, but
Liverpool got at least Van Dijk.
Yeah,
but I heard that.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter though. Bro.
Don't forget, you're also missing training. Like you must train every single day. So what the hell were you doing?
I'll tell you what they're doing, bro.
Hey man,
they're playing patball, bro.
Anyway, man, let's move it on from United. Anyway, so United obviously Chelsea next, and then Liverpool. So Molly Moore.
Yeah, I think we'll beat Chelsea. Chelsea are trash.
And Liverpool will be a tough one.
That will be tough. That will be tough.
It's at Old Trafford though.
I don't think that matters. I'll tell you, I don't think that matters. We'll go to Old Trafford and the Liverpool fans will be louder than our fans. Watch.
Yeah, of course they will. We know that.
FA Cup was at your ground, right?
That was at Wembley, no?
No, Wembley, yeah. Correct.
No, the FA Cup was at Old Trafford, man.
Yeah.
It was at Old Trafford, yeah. Because remember, I don't think the stat was we've never won at Old Trafford in the 100 years of the FA Cup.
So, and what was your point? What you think the atmosphere contributes to our win? Because I don't.
No, just the
occasion. We were louder in that game. But
fans. The Liverpool fans were louder. I remember that. Specifically thinking this, Liverpool look like Barcelona at Old Trafford.
Tried to spur them on and they got a bit louder. So we need to be loud, innit? Like instead of just taking pictures and being a commercial business.
Yeah.
For fans, yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough game anyway. Tough game. I think it will be a draw, actually.
And you think you'll get Champions League then, or?
I think we will be finishing 5th place.
Okay.
I would like to think we can finish it.
Be tough. Obviously, like we already mentioned, Spurs and Villa. Won't go into it, but obviously they kept up momentum and got more points, and then obviously United dropped points. So again, it's just a bigger challenge for ETH to live up to this Man United expectation.
I personally think you guys are finishing 6th.
Makes kind of sense. Anyway, before we finish this segment quickly, we'll just go around the room, back pages. Telestrada.
I think giving it to anyone in Arsenal would be too easy. So I think I'm going to give my back pages to McAllister. I think he's been consistent for the last couple of games, and obviously had a hand in the assist for the winning goal yesterday.
Strives.
My back page is going to Mikel Arteta. Yeah, that was a very, very perfect tactic to contend with a very rampant City, who I think would beat any other team on that day.
Didn't beat Liverpool.
I said on that day.
Didn't beat Liverpool.
Jerry?
Xavi Alonso.
Xavi Alonso? Oh, yeah, without doubt. Is it because as well, like Bayern lost, didn't Bayern Munich? They lost, and then obviously they came back and won 2.
Yeah, Tuchel said there's no chance of us winning this anymore.
That's mad, you know.
But we don't have the capacity.
But it's a word predicament to be in, because you know you're leaving this season. So like, what motivation do you really
sabotage the thing, bro?
How nuts must Kane feel though?
He stunk on the weekend as well. He missed bare chances.
Hang on, but to your point, do you now say that this Bayern is still the same Bayern where Arsenal should be scared of?
This Bayern?
Yeah, because you were saying that Arsenal.
Yeah, because they've got your number in it. I say you're sorry. I keep on forgetting that you're not really an Arsenal fan.
When was the last time Arsenal played Bayern?
In the Champions League.
It was a while ago.
Was
that like 15 years ago? Last time,
bro. So I don't know why you still think
that. A lot has changed since then, man. Molly Moore, anyway, your back page.
He's just being a hater.
Yeah, no, Xabi Alonso as well, but for different reasons, just for making the right decision and turning Liverpool down.
He didn't turn us down, bro. He turned out Bayern Munich and Real Madrid, bro. No, but 100% that's the right decision to stay, man.
And mine's going to Arteta anyway, because I think that was a masterclass to keep his team in line with trying to go for the Prem. Again, stellar performance. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting twist to the end of the season. But yeah, thanks for joining us. We'll be back same time, same place next week.